Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Buck Roll. Alright, it's been a little bit more than a month now since we had that great total solar eclipse that went through Waco, and I've got the solar telescope out again today because the sun is doing something else that's pretty cool, and we want to talk about that a little. If you've been paying attention to the sky and live in most of the world that's not within 20 degrees or so of the equator, you'll notice that the last couple nights have had some very spectacular activity happening in terms of the northern lights, the Aurora Borealis. And I want to talk a little bit about what's making that happen. And today's the first day I've really been able to do it because today's the first day that we can actually see the sun. It's been overcast and rainy for the last few days, and so there hasn't really been a lot of opportunity to look at what's going on. But one of the things that maybe people don't know about the sun is that the sun operates on a solar cycle. It's about 11 years. And during that 11-year period, it goes from what they call solar minimum to solar maximum. And what solar maximum is when you get the most amount of sunspot activity. And you bear with me, I got to adjust the telescope a little bit because the sun is moving in the sky. You may be able to see those little dark spots. There's like one right there, one right there, one right there. But specifically, I want to talk about this one right here. Solar sun spots are caused by the magnetic field on the sun rotating around. You see, the sun has a magnetic north and a south pole just like the Earth does. But since there isn't a solid surface on the sun, but just kind of gas and plasma held together by gravity, the magnetic field doesn't remain in the north and south poles. And because the different parts of the sun rotate at different rates, these magnetic fields get twisted around. And when they get twisted around, they get all kind of torn around by gravity. And when that happens, sometimes these magnetic fields erupt out of the sun, and the areas where the field exits the sun, often causes what they call prominences or solar flares. And wherever these solar flares are, you can see these little spots that are sunspots. And we're about a year away from solar maximum right now in that 11-year cycle. And because of that, there's much more solar activity going on. And like I said, we have this sunspot right here, which is one of the biggest ones in 150 years. And it turns out a couple days ago, that one was pointed right at the Earth when it erupted. And when it erupted, it sent a field of highly charged magnetic plasma towards the Earth. And when that magnetic plasma hit the Earth's magnetic fields, it drew all this high energy plasma to the poles, which dissipated across our atmosphere. And that's what's causing the solar flares or the Aurora Borealis that's been so visible. You see, usually when you have solar flares, they aren't seen much south of the Canadian border. Yeah, but because this was such a powerful storm and such a massive sunspot, it sent an enormous amount of plasma at the Earth, and that's what created our really spectacular northern lights that we've seen recently. Like I said, we are still about a year away from solar maximum, but this is all just kind of a hit and miss thing. You get these big solar flares and sunspots on the sun from time to time, but if they're not pointed directly at the Earth, the energy goes in another direction. But this time, this one, it was aimed right at the Earth and gave us a lot of solar activity, a lot of Aurora Borealis. And I thought that was really cool. And, the second I started hearing about this recently, I wanted to pull out the telescope. But like I said, it was really, cloudy, and so I couldn't see anything. This is the first day I've been able to see anything. But look at all the sunspots on there. When I got this, if you remember when I got this telescope a couple years ago, we were still a few years away from solar maximum. And I looked at the sun, you couldn't see any sunspots. Look at it, they're all over the place now. There's at least 6 of them that I can see. because there's one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. There's actually a couple other small ones too. Now that I'm looking, I can see. So there's like 8 of them there. But see, if you've ever seen like pictures or video of the sun and you see the solar eruptions, the sun flares, the prominence that come off the sun, you know, those are following those twisted magnetic fields around the sun, and that's what's caused by that. That's the high energy plasma is following the magnetic field that's pulling off of the sun, and kind of, you know, all these weird looped patterns and stuff like that. Got to keep adjusting the telescope because the sky is moving. So I wanted to take a couple minutes talking about that because I thought that was kind of cool. And like I said, now for the first time we can see it. I've seen some close-up images of this sunspot through better telescopes than this, but like I said, this is what we were dealing with. That little spot there that I showed you, that was the one that made our lives very interesting in the last couple days. Now the solar activity now is beginning to fade away, and as a result, the Aurora Borealis is mostly gone. I tried to get up a little bit at 3 a.m. this morning, which was the first time that the sky was clear, and shoot some pictures of the sky, but unfortunately it was all gone. And even there, you know, I saw a map that kind of showed where the Aurora Borealis would be visible, and it seemed to be as far south as Dallas, which is still 100 miles from here. And there was a line that kind of went from Dallas to San Francisco, California, and all the way through to like Alabama, where you could see these things. Now it turns out I did see some interesting pictures of the Aurora Borealis as shot from Waco and even from Dallas, or from Austin, which is another 100 miles south of here. So I guess it was visible, but like I said, the weather didn't cooperate that much, and we couldn't really see a whole lot of it. But that is fascinating to actually look at this sunspot and see what it is that was making the sky so beautiful a few days ago. If you're on the Facebook page, I actually posted a video that I found online that actually explained what's going on a little bit better than I can. So if you go check it out on the Facebook page, you'll be able to see exactly why this happens. You end up with these prominences coming off the sun. Eventually, they sometimes the energy breaks off, and what they call a coronal mass ejection, or a CME, gets fired out into space. And like I said, if the energy and the plasma from that CMA interacts with the Earth's magnetic field, that's when we start getting pardon me while I readjust here a little bit, that's when we get the Aurora Borealis. And like I said, the more energy and the more plasma coming off the sun, the more spectacular these solar lights, or these northern lights, can be. So like I said, I wanted to talk about that for a few minutes because it's kind of interesting to look at that, and now that I can actually see what's going on, I figured I'd share it with you. So anyway, like I said, just a little discussion I wanted to do, and hope you found that a little bit interesting. And other than that, I think we're done for this one. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.